Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind, these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as, investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright, so taking a look at VRM today. VRM, it's obviously gone through this really big beatdown since it stretched up here to 75.49. So what it's looking like to me seems to be its sort of character of the stock is it has these like channels that it builds, right? And then it breaks the channel. And when it breaks the channel, then it's sort of the next big leg down. I mean, this channel only extending like that because of the movement after the fact, but at the time you would have seen it like this, and then you would have been like, whoa, there's that big break. So to me, it's looking like it's essentially doing that same thing again, where it's putting in this channel here, and when it breaks it, that'll be its next big move, and it's putting in these like brief consolidation periods ahead of these, right? You see them just, this is the daily chart, so there's a few days, right? This one's a couple of weeks or a few weeks or so. But it's getting off of this sort of like really roller coastery kind of thing and doing more of a brief consolidation move, and then big break from that move, reconsolidates, move, consolidate, move, right? And so it's doing that at the moment, and at this point it's on one of these big moves, right? To my eyeball, it's on a big move right here like it was here. So what I would look for next is the next consolidation point. And I don't know that it'll be exactly where it is now, but it could be. If it wants to make a break to the upside, what I would look for here is a break of this down trend line. And obviously the best possibility for it at the moment is if it can put in, if it can basically say that it put in a double bottom here, right? That this wick stretched to 1346 and these two candle bodies here are going to sort of like serve as a double bottom and lead from there. Now today it's not putting in the greatest candle at the moment, right? All this weight is situated toward the bottom of the candle, but we'll see how it sort of ends up. But that's what I would look for, but this may not even be the bottom. We'll have to see how it reacts under the pressure of this downtrend resistance piece. All right, quick update here on SHIB. So SHIB, I continued to buy the dip on the way down, and for a while I was averaging up, and then eventually I was averaging back down, but happy I did. I mean, it really respected all of these levels that we had on the chart. We had these on the chart from when the, I was going to say the stock, but from when the currency was all the way up here, and we were following this uptrend line, right? Then it broke and it got trapped under this downtrend resistance, but it put up a good fight around this 5658 level, got trapped again, and it just put up a good fight on all of these levels. And so to me, this chart is really intact, and it's the thing that I really like about how it's moving is it's moving in very logical ways, meaning it broke out of this downtrend resistance and then it's continued to rise and stabilize since then, which is what you'd look for, and is rejecting off of this closest in resistance level, which is 4805. And so yeah, to me it's looking really, really good, and I'm really happy with how it's going. On the EMA side of things, let me just rejigger this a little bit. I want to look at the 12, a 34, and a 50. And this is a little tutorial on how to set up your Webull. This is the Webull desktop app. People ask me all the time. But in any case, this purple 12, right, providing the support at the moment, I'd like to see that continue to be the case, because if we can get a nice big, nice push up here, it doesn't have to be big, but a nice push up here, this 12 could cross over the 34, which is this sort of like peachy colored one, and that would be another bullish crossover that could provide some nice lift. So going to be looking for that as well. Would be another good possibility that I could see for getting that price to move and flip that 4807 from resistance to support. But for the time being, waiting to see if this is going to build a range and then move out of the range, or flip or build another trend line, what have you. But just kind of in waiting mode, waiting to see what evolves next. But I'm really happy with where this movement has taken us in the last several days. All right, peace. All right, quick update on ETH Ethereum here. So I'm continuing to hold my position in Ethereum. that I took relatively recently. It had a nice bottoming out here that lined up with this previous resistance level and was just looking like a really nice opportunity to buy. You know, below that was this level here that would have reached the 4,000 level, which is obviously a big psychological level. So that was kind of the risk that I was taking there. But in any case, it's come up past this 43.92. I don't know why I can't read numbers. 43.92 level, previous topping out here. Had put in some resistance in these levels as well, and then had topped out a bunch here. But nice flip of resistance to support at the moment, and just continuing a nice movement. Now, obviously, the next area that I'm most closely watching from a resistance perspective is right here. It's not this tippy top. It's all of this topping. I see this wick got topped out here, and that's where the bodies of these candles got stuck. And then this was just a wick reach, right, that got to that 48.71. So to me, that's less impactful than these several candle bodies and wicks that have gotten stuck there. So I don't love the formation of this candle at the moment, just sort of the shape that it's taking. But we saw a pretty unfortunate looking candle down here that kind of got flipped around, and the fact that crypto trades 24/7 makes these like daily candles a little bit different in my perspective. But we are extended quite a bit from the 12 EMA at the moment, so we may see a little bit of retreatment. I would look for the next bounce if it does come down a little bit. I'd look for a bounce right about here. This 45.27 to me should provide solid support. It'd be nice, honestly, to see it confirm support there and then maybe make a run at that 48.16 and try to breach it then and do the old flip flop. All right, folks, I'll catch you later. All right, quick check-in on Litecoin here. Now, I bought Litecoin on the dip here, and it actually got a little dippier after I bought it, but it's recovering nicely at the moment. It's a couple of things that look pretty solid to my eye is this 192 support level here. You see the previous support that it offered here and resistance back here. And then up from that level, this pretty strong right now. You see this doing a nice body flip on this recent candle from yesterday to today. And that's exactly what I would hope that would happen. You see this support here, resistance here that was eventually flipped, and you see this is about where this full retracement came down to as well. I mean, I know it came down to 202, but I think that in terms of flipping and trend reversal, this 208.40 is the key, since it's worked itself through this sort of 202 level, as it were. Now, additionally speaking, there is a pretty steep uptrend support line that's developing. I don't know if it'll be able to hold it this steep. I mean, this is this is pretty crazy. It's hard to even sort of put it in here, but we have that, so we could draw it from the wicks, which would flatten it out a bit. I don't know, if we took it down here even, it gets even crazier. So if we take it from the body, if we want to put in a bit more of a conservative, could sort of split the difference. But to me, that's the uptrend support that would be great to hold. That would sort of be the elevator back up. To be honest, it would be a pretty solid movement up. On the EMA's side of things, we're looking for this to continue to flip any of these resistance to support, right? You have the 12 and the 34 acting as pretty clear resistance at the moment, aside from these levels that we put in, and flipping those would not only give us some lift, but also some bullish crossovers on the EMAs that should help as well. One additional level that I would put in here before we chop this video and call it a quick one would be right about here. This would be the next good flip that I had to look for, 221.46. All right, peace. All right, quick check-in on Apple here today. Had a pretty rough day today. I mean, it was doing well, it got over 170 and then huge pullback. I mean, much of the market did the same. So not anything super surprising there. Now on the daily chart, a couple of things. So you see this candle here and this candle here looking not quite as terrible as this one did. But wouldn't surprise me if it comes down to at least test this 163.71 again, right here. If it needs it, the next level that I would see down is this 161.09 level. And the flow is turned also, we could call it mixed, but comparatively speaking, it's turned relatively bearish later on in the day. I mean, look at how bullish it was earlier today, right? This was when that big run-up was happening and the aftermath of that. And since then, it's just obviously getting crushed. So the flow on Unusual Whale is really, really representing that. And so what I would look for, like I said, tomorrow, if it is able to get support, if it does draw down a bit more, 163.71 or within that vicinity, if it loses that and flips that just to resistance, 161.09 would be the next level that might come into play there. If it does make a turn to the upside, I would say the candle body resistance would be what I'd look for it to really flip to the upside here. This 167.41 would be where I would want it to move on the bullish side of things to really flip that to support and regain there. Now, if we pull in the EMAs, it still is really far extended on the daily from the 12 EMA, for example. And so it may want to come down and test these waters a little bit. If it were to come all the way down to that 161.09, probably that would be about when this 12 EMA would be coming up to provide, double support at that level or very, very near into that level. So that might sort of be in the cards as well, but a lot of macro forces at work as well. And the flow has been super bullish for a while, but today it definitely got mixed. So we'll see how it goes. Peace.